And here we go again. Hey everybody, welcome back. Just doing a follow-up to our previous discussion there. This time talking about the so-called clandestine racist. The secret one, the one that secretly hates everybody but acts nice to your face, and ties in with a little bit with our previous discussion, but also this is a recent experience that we just went through with a driver at work. He's a FedEx driver who comes to work, and he's always really super friendly. You know, he comes to the door, and I receive the packages because, you know, again, we're in a mental health facility. People can't just come in, so I got to come down and answer. Hey, buddy, how you doing? And you know, it's a nice day, and whatever. Has a really sweet little conversation, and acts like he's my pal, and like he's about to ask me to come to the game. You know, that sort of thing, where he's like real friendly and he's your buddy. But then she answered the door, lovely lady behind the camera here, and she has an entirely different experience with this guy. Because this driver is a black guy, and apparently really secretly hates and despises white people.
Yes.
Period. And had some really creepy things to say, to the point where it made her very uncomfortable. And again, you know, why are you so nice to me then? Can't you just give me the package then? You don't like me? Okay, here you go, thanks. And then go about your business instead of acting like you're my buddy and, you know, trying to get to know me better. Hey, you know, what's up kind of friendly attitude when you don't really mean it. And just elaborating on it, because you spoke with him, I didn't, on that instance.
Yeah, because he's been coming around for some months, and usually I always answer the door because my desk is closer to the door.
Yeah.
And we'll talk, and you know, he's a big conspiracy theorist, and he has a lot to talk about, you know, the CV. And
because we can't say the C virus. I'm not allowed to say it out loud.
So the CV, and you know, we'll talk about our thoughts and our ideas about that. But then, excuse me, the last time he came, he went on about how whites are evil and how they've stolen the identity of black people, how they secretly want to be black, and how, you know, their DNA is inferior. Blacks are super smart and artistic and intelligent, and whites just want to be like that, and they suppress us so we wouldn't know it. And he just went on, and I'm standing there like, oh my God. Now, I have talked to some black people who hate whites, and they say some things, and you're sitting there like, okay, dude, I've heard this all before. Oh, I hate whites because they've raped our women. I'm gonna tell you now, I'm black, as y'all know, and I know a lot of women, black women, that were raped, and they were all raped by black men. So, you know, to say I hate whites because they raped our women, they didn't rape them all. You know, what about the blacks that raped them? But anyway, and you know, they'll go on about this, but this guy, he was passionate. He was not playing. He wasn't just saying stuff just to, you know, impress. He meant it.
Yeah.
I mean, he went on literally for 45 minutes. We stood outside, and I mean, I stood there.
If you're wondering where your package is.
Yeah. Because I'm just standing there, and I'm just like, I cannot believe what he's saying, you know. And I just was like, no, guy, man, give me your email address. I can email you all this information. I got videos. I tell people this all the time. They don't believe me, but I give them the information, and I just tell them, look it up for yourself.
You
Google
can find a
is your
video to
friend.
support anything you want.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, good, bad, or ugly.
If there's a topic, you can find a video for it and a video against it,
Yeah.
and they'll all be convincing.
True.
So you know. And it just, like he said, it ties into what we talked about, how racism is becoming a big thing. I'm not saying it ever went away,
Yeah.
but it's becoming more and more intense, seem like,
Yeah.
over the last few months, last couple of years.
And this is that secret kind. This is what I'm always hearing, like in the media, white people are being accused of. Oh, it's like, oh, they put on this big act, but in secret. You know, like we all get together and we have a meeting. How are we going to foil the lives of black people today? You know, and it's nobody's having these meetings. I mean, there might be, but I've never heard of it.
But usually when people planning
yeah.
to destroy somebody, they got somebody specific in mind, and it ain't you.
Yeah, it's not you.
You know.
Or like on In Living Color, the guy in the fryer, the fry cook. I'm trying to remember. They had this episode where they were making fun of that concept, and the guy allowed for this black guy to be advanced to running the fryer, and then they show him in this dark room with this long table with all these dark figures sitting behind it. It's come to our attention that in section 43 you allowed a black man to be in charge of a fryer. Is this correct? And he was like, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't realize. You know, paraphrasing because I don't remember it exactly, but I remember the episode and how they were making fun of how some people really believe that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, we're not all sitting in a meeting. We don't all like have like this index of all white people that we come together in a secret meeting somewhere and plot your demise. It's not happening, okay?
Yeah.
And again, there might be people who have those kind of discussions. I've never found one.
I've never heard
I don't
of
want to
one.
find one.
No. I've heard, and I mean, like I said, I know a lot of black people that are racist. They have said some things, and you're sitting there like, why do you don't even know a white person. You're not even friends with one. Why would you even say that?
Oh my God.
You know? But, you know, people are just ridiculous. They're stupid. They just say things just to hear themselves speak, I believe, sometimes.
Yeah, or they have their beliefs and they want to drag people in to their belief to justify it. Like they know something's wrong, but if I can convince this person, maybe I'm not.
But you gotta wonder, do they really believe it? Because half of the things they say, they have no experience behind it or nothing to confirm it. They don't know of an example. They only know what they've heard. So it's like, can you really say you believe that?
Yeah.
You know, and you can't blanket a group of people because of something one person did.
Yeah.
You
Did
know?
or said or what you believe they're doing or saying and you don't know.
Yeah, cause then you get mad. Well, how they gonna the police stop me and I get followed around the store just because I'm black? Well, you like to blanket all whites and whites will blanket you. You know, and that's not true. I've never been followed around a store.
I have. I have.
I've never been followed around a store, and every time I got stopped, I was speeding. I've never gotten stopped.
Oh man.
If I wasn't speeding, I don't always get a ticket.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't get a ticket.
Sometimes you get a warning.
Yeah. Hey, you know, slow down. Yes, you shouldn't speed. Okay, thank you, officer. Move on.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get a ticket. Sometimes you don't. Most of the time, it's white guys. They don't give you a ticket. I got a lot by some black cops. I get a ticket. But, you know, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
And the thing that gets me from part of his diatribe that you related back to me was where he was talking about how white people keep black people from getting decent jobs, while he actually he's not a subcontractor. He actually works for Federal Express.
Yeah,
that's a good middle class job.
And he got a set route, so he's been there a minute.
Yeah.
He's not the sub.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't fill in because Billy's out.
Who's keeping you from making money? I don't get that.
Yeah.
Tell it to Oprah.
I know. Yeah.
So I don't understand that either.
And there's another thing we talked about blacks make up 13%
That's right.
of the
or
population.
less. It's right around
It's
there
around
somewhere.
13% of the population
In
in
the
America.
US.
Now you're a math whiz. You do it good. So let's say, for an example, it's 100 million people in total living in America. How much is 13%?
100 million.
Do it for an example.
13 million
Okay, so 13 million people are black.
out of 100.
Out of
That's
100
That's your demographic.
we're going to use that as an example. So you can't say that it's not enough black people in Hollywood if it's only 13 million of us.
The one that gets me is the one from the Parks and Recreation.
Oh, God, yeah.
I saw a report on that. They said something like only 8% of black people who visit national forests are black.
Well,
and I'm like,
8% of the people,
that visit.
yeah, are
And I'm
black.
like, that's pretty close to the demographic of how many black people there are in the country. Are you going to force all black people to go to push that number up, or what the hell are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What does that prove or mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Just like they
sounds
had one about
pretty
blacks
average.
don't ski. I'm never gonna ski. I hate cold weather. You're not getting me on a set of skis. I'm not gonna do
Resorts
it.
aren't throwing black people. I'm sorry, sir. You're not the right color for our snow. It doesn't make any sense. That's not happening, but they want to make a big deal out of it. If black people want to go ski, they probably can. And they're saying, oh, well, it's too expensive. Most white people can't afford to go do that either.
Yeah, only the
can't-
super rich
I'm
go.
not running off to the Swiss Alps anytime soon.
And but then you got sports. The majority of sports in football and basketball are black. More than half of them. But then you got that old sorry Colin Kaepernick talking about how sports is racist, or the NFL.
Because of their lineup. Because
Yeah.
of their body checks and stuff. And it's like, they're paying these guys millions. They don't want to send them out on the field to get injured because they're hiding an injury and chomping on painkillers all day like they used to in the 70s. And there was a lot of problems with that, which is why they do that now. Yeah, they're protecting their investment.
Yeah,
And
see,
you know what you signed up for.
yeah. I mean, okay, maybe the majority of the owners aren't black, but if a black person wants to, I guess they can
Yeah.
own one. But you got the
If they want to
majority.
invest the money in it.
Yeah, because I think, doesn't Michael Jordan own a team?
I don't remember.
He seemed like he
It's-
owned a
yeah.
basketball team one time. But I'm just saying.
The one that killed me actually was Spike Lee talking about the Celtics. But Spike Lee is
yeah.
an awful guy anyways. But he's a punk. But talking about how the Celtics is a racist team because it was majority white. And this is during the time that Larry Bird was big. And I'm like, but most of the other teams are majority black. Couldn't you reverse that and say that they're racist for not letting more white players on the team? To find something else to talk about, Spike. I don't know.
I don't think the NFL or the NBA really cares what your color is.
They just want to make money.
If you can bounce that ball and throw it in the net or run it down that field, they don't care if you blue.
Yeah.
They just
I believe it.
I honestly believe that. I don't think they sit there and say, man, we need to get some blacks in here so they can throw that ball and run it down the court. Or all that. They're like, we need some players in here that can play and get some points and get us some money. That's all they care about, is the bottom line. I really believe that. And the majority of them are black. You got some good white players out there. Really good white players. Because it was a big thing. One of the Super Bowls, it was 2 black head coaches
Okay.
playing.
Yeah.
And, before that, we don't have black head coaches and we need more black head coaches. And then they got black head coaches. And then they both went to the Super Bowl. And then I heard black people say, well, the Super Bowl commercials was awful because they had black coaches. And it's like,
Yeah, how does
what
that
did
make any
coaches
sense?
in the commercials have? I actually heard somebody say that because there were two head coaches that were black, the commercials that year weren't as good as it normally is.
They're not going to be as good as they normally are if they keep trying to put political and social messages in the commercials anyways. But I mean, if you try to force that issue, you end up with people that are not necessarily as qualified for the job. And I remember this brings me back to the Boston Herald, and this was in the early 90s when I was still living in Boston. And they had a story about sergeants, the Boston police, the sergeants, trying to get more black and Hispanic sergeants certified in the police department, and they couldn't. They were having a hard time because they wouldn't take the exam. The reason they wouldn't take the exam is they said it's mostly whites, and then next is Asians or something, and then black, and then Hispanic, and they were like, why aren't they taking the exam? Turns out because of affirmative action. Remember that? Mm-hmm. The test for if you were black or Hispanic had a lower requirement than everybody else. And they didn't want to take the test because they were like, then I'm being hired and I may not be or being promoted, and I may not be as qualified, and I don't want to wear that around my neck. That was the attitude of those people then. And I can understand, I respect that. I get it. You know what? You're trying to say, if you're trying to say I'm as good as anybody else, why am I taking a lower test? Find somebody like that now. Find somebody with that kind of integrity now. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what to say. But anyways, is that it?
yeah, I guess so.
I guess so.
We beat that horse.
Yeah, we beat that horse. It's just, it's sad, and we could probably go on and on about it. We just hate seeing it. We just hate seeing it. People could get along. Put little children in a room and look at how they act. They get along fine. Little kids, because nobody's taught them that there's a difference yet. Mm-hmm. We're adults are putting that, they're projecting on these kids and making a problem, creating a problem. And then, you know, the media and politicians, they love it. Activists love it because they have something to gain from your misery. What do they care how we actually have to live? Anyway, if you have any thoughts, feel free to post your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. We hope you did. Share it if you can, probably the only way it'll get seen. ScrewTube does not like me. Subscribe if you knew all that good stuff. Check out some of the other videos. If you wanted to help the channel, there are links for that down below. Every little bit helps, and we sure do appreciate it. The cats appreciate it. A lot of it goes to pet food. And if that's it, then what more can I say but stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.